Am I live? What's going on here? Can you see me? Is this thing on? What the hell? Can anybody see me? Trying to see if this is. If you can hear me, that'd be great. But let's see if you can see me. Okay. I can't see you, or I can't see myself. Hold on, let me see this fucking stupid thing. We're gonna. All right, we're gonna mute that. Okay. Okay. So apparently you can see me, but I can't see you. Or I can't see myself because usually the camera would have myself put it. This is already a freaking disaster. This is already a freaking disaster. But I can't see usually the webcam has a thing of me. That way I'm able to see it. But I have it on live here. And so I could see myself, doing my hand motions and talking and all of that. So the camera's clearly working, but I'm not getting the feedback. I'm not getting the freaking feedback. What a freaking disaster already, man. What is up, Octawave? Hola, what is up? What is up? Yeah, dude, this webcam. Thank you, Octawave. Thank you. This webcam shit, like I put the webcam on this computer, and so basically, usually I would see myself in the frame, knowing like what I'm doing in frame, but it's just completely dark, completely black, can't see anything. And when I turned it on live onto my laptop here, I was like, oh, so the webcam is working, and something's just screwing with me. And so I'm just like, I gotta do like this weird. I'm glad I have two laptops to work with here, but it's already a freaking mess. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for sticking around. What is up, everybody? Yeah, 2023 is coming to an end. It's going to be done in a couple hours, and it's been a crazy year. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm basically working with like caveman level technology in terms of YouTuber stuff. So it's I'm doing the best I can, but this is how YouTubers do it, man. You got to start at the bottom somewhere. You got to find a way to get yourself out there, regardless of how you are. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you're interested in YouTube, don't worry about lighting, don't worry about cameras. Just pull out your phone and start doing it. Most of my videos are done on my phone. Like it's some of the most white trash, like basic bitch stuff that like any YouTuber could do, and it's worked so far. It's worked so far. But yeah, let's get into it. 2023 was a bonkers year, and 2024 is looking crazy. I don't know how crazy it's going to be, but I call this shit every single time there's an election year. Every single time. 2016 was nuts. 2020, we literally had an entire country shut down because of a but I'm not going to get into that quite yet. We're not quite there yet. But 2024 is going to be fucking insane, dude. 2024 is going to be a big freaking deal. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Octawave. Yeah, because using the technology that I have on the iPhone that I got, basically using iMovie, once I figured out how to use iMovie, it was like a piece of cake from there. piece of cake from there. And so I do a lot of things on iPhone, like GarageBand. I use GarageBand for like making music and whatnot. Um, I obviously got a lot of notes. I write a lot of notes in my phone. That's where a lot of writings happen. Um, but yeah, like I'm building up. I'm trying to build up from mud and sticks and shit, basically, in terms of like YouTube content. Like it's very caveman esque, if I were to be very blunt about it. So, what should I start with? What should I start with in terms of should I start with the best of 2023 or the worst of 2023? Because it's hard to like fun thing about streaming, right? Fun thing about streaming is I get to talk to the chat. I get to talk to people who are watching. That's some of the funnest stuff, like doing this, right? Getting to interact with people who are watching my videos, interact with people like the audience and whatnot. Um, so yeah, I like interacting with people. That's why I like live streaming. Um, problem is that it's like, how am I going to sit here and talk for like another hour and a half? And I'm like, it's like talking to the letters basically. But yeah, worst first to stir up the audience. All right. All right. The audience has spoken. So, worst. There's, oh my God. To get others talking, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. This year was a fucking disaster in terms of entertainment. Let me see. Okay, a lot of people forgot about this, but Velma came out earlier this year. And my brother and I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of Velma, and Jesus Christ, it had to have been one of the most hateful, spiteful, fan hating like shit I've ever seen. Like I don't know if there's anything out there that is as vitriolic and as degenerate as Velma was. And so that like I don't know if I'm gonna rank like my top worst. Because I don't know if I can. I don't know if I am qualified to rank a top worst like films, disasters. Like I don't know if I can do it because I'd have to like because I didn't write anything down. I'm going straight from the dome, straight from the heart. Like I have no like I have to go off memory here, right? I have no plan. I was just thinking about getting on here and talking to the chat and talking about best and worst of 2023. But starting it off, Velma was fucking awful. It was awful. And my brother and I watched it. We hated it. And Jesus, like I was thinking about monetizing it. I was thinking about making a video about it, but I never came around to it because I was just like, I got things to do. I got a life. I got a fucking life. I don't need this. So, yeah, Velma was, oh my God, it was one of the, it hated, it's like I hated every person who ever like watched TV or like, it's so freaking nuts. The creator said, if you hated it, then you're a racist. Yeah, they do that all the time. They do that all the time so that you could like, so that's what they do, right? Like that's what Hollywood does now. Like it's not enough to be fans of the playground, for lack of a better term here, so I don't get demonetized on YouTube. Fans of the playground, essentially, is what Hollywood is. It's not enough to be that, but whenever you don't like something now that they make, all of a sudden you're a political adversary. And so, yeah, they throw slang at you like racist and misogynistic, homophobe, istophobic thingy. And it's just like, why? Because of the Orange Man? I mean, I know it's because of the Orange Man, but like Hollywood saw that when half the country voted for Orange Man, that they thought that half the country were literally white supremacists. They thought that half their audience was comprised of like these MAGA rah redneck people. It's like, dude, calm the fuck down. Even if that is your audience, don't say that they're racist just because it's like, hey, they don't like this shit. Like, I hardly doubt any like dumb redneck that you might think that these MAGA people are. I highly doubt they care whether or not your shit is good as long as they're entertained. But at the same time, if you're pushing a propaganda message on them, if you're pushing woke propaganda, they're going to notice. They're going to notice because it's obvious, because you're doing it poorly. It's dumb dog shit. And so essentially, what's going on there is that Hollywood is coping with the fact that they make garbage now, and they're going to try and deflect the blame onto the audience. Which winning strategy every single time. Look at the box office for Disney. Winning strategy that is. And honestly, the more they do it, the more they push me to become more like, it's kind of like that thing where it's like, I am whatever you say I am. They push me more to the other side by doing that. They push me to being like, okay, guess what? I'm voting for Trump 2024, baby. Like, this is what you do. This is the monster you created when you alienate your fucking audience. So it's freaking stupid. Fun fact, the first Black Panther film was the only movie that made me sleep in the theater. And the people I was with at the time told me I'm racist. Obviously, they were joking. Yeah, I mean, that's good to, like, poke fun and, like, have, banter. I was just hanging out with my cousins last night, and we were throwing all sorts of crazy shit at each other. We were saying all the worst kind of things, but it's just like fun banter. You call somebody, retarded or something, like it's just fun banter. It's not like it's, to be taken seriously. You call somebody a racist or whatever, like it can be fun, but like when the mainstream media, when the people that are bought and paid for by Hollywood, when they're actually like defending a movie, a fictional piece of movie, to try and like, gain an audience, they're actively trying to vilify people, and it's kind of disgusting to see that. And it's one thing to have fun and poke fun and do all that, but like, dude, like that's how, like, that's how we get to where we're at now, right? That's how we get to where we're at now. And speaking of Black Panther, there was a meme going around that I was having fun with, because I didn't watch Barbie, right? I was like, I'm not watching Barbie. It ain't made for me, so I ain't gonna bother, right? And so I was one of the many people that called Barbie basically Black Panther for angry white women. And so, yeah, it's basically the same movie, but for angry woke white women. That's what Barbie is. Barbie's another one of those big disasters of this year. Not only did it make $1 billion, it was one of the more successful things for Hollywood, that's for sure. But the movie, as far as I know, and I didn't watch it, so I'm not gonna, like, from what I've heard, it was like one of the most woke things ever made. It was so woke that it did reverse psychology. It did its work backwards. And so, yeah, I'm not watching Barbie, at least not anytime soon, because if I do watch Barbie, I will monetize it. I will make a video about it. I will probably react to it. I think that my reactions to a movie like that are very valuable, and my audience deserves to see something like that. I actually watched Morbius a couple weeks ago with my little brother. I should have been filming the whole time, because holy shit, Morbius is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I think Morbius might actually be worse than the Marvels. It might actually beat the Marvels in terms of how fucking garbage it is. But tomato here. A good theater experience, in my opinion, is when a film doesn't let you rest your head on the set most of the time. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to come by a good theater experience these days. Hard to come by a good theater experience. Oh, Godzilla -1. That's going to be in my best category. I think Godzilla -1 easily for me, best movie of the year. I know that not everybody could agree with that. That's okay, but fucking, it was so good. Godzilla -1 was the greatest movie this year. Probably one of the greatest Godzilla movies ever made. And I put that in my video too, I believe. So we covered Velma. Holy shit, that was bad. I watched a part of Blood Origin, with The Witcher Blood Origin on Netflix. I couldn't get it 40 minutes in. It was such dog shit. 40 minutes in, The Witcher Blood Origin was fucking terrible. Like the CGI looked like it wasn't finished. It looked like some high school kid made it on like some like weird SFM thing. Like I don't know what those are, but like it looked like dog shit. It looked terrible. I would not recommend Witcher Blood Origin, and I am not intending to finish it. In fact, I did watch season 2 of Witcher, and I was not that impressed. I liked season 1, kind of liked it, but The Witcher season 2 was not as good, and I do not look forward to ever watching season 3, especially after they fired Henry Cavill, especially after doing my boy Henry Cavill dirty. And on top of that, speaking of The Witcher, I might as well get this out of the way now. People tend to, like, okay, I have no beef with The Witcher. I think the world of The Witcher is pretty cool. I like Geralt. I like some of the aspects of The Witcher. There is no denying that The Witcher is 100% a play-by-play ripoff of Elric of Melniboné. That is indisputable. You cannot change my mind on the idea that Elric was the precursor. He is Geralt's daddy when it comes to fantasy lore, when it comes to the idea of that rogue hero with that grizzled backstory with the flowing white hair and that hunts monsters, uses potions. Like Elric did it first, and Elric was better. Andrei Sapkowski is a fucking hack. And so, but that being said, I ain't got nothing against The Witcher. I'm just acknowledging a fact here. But I do think Elric is better. Elric is way better. The only way the MCU can be peak once again is if they make Morbius 2 and add him to the fucking. Oh. Oh, the movie was terrible. But yeah, at this point, I wouldn't mind Morbius 2 just for the fucking meme. Just for the meme. I I can't. I was thinking about it. Like, okay, that's the thing. I was thinking about making a Morbius review after watching it, right? I was thinking about it. But then I came to the realization that I didn't know what I was going to fucking say. I didn't know what I was going to say in the video. I was going to be like, hey, I watched Morbius. And yeah, I watched Morbius. I still to this day, like I know I watched it only a couple weeks ago, but to this day, I still have no idea what the fuck happened with that movie. That movie was a freaking disaster. And I was like, no wonder this thing flopped. It flew right under the rug, and it was just like, how do we miss such a catastrophe fly right by? It's like sleeping through a hurricane. Like missing Morbius was like sleeping through a hurricane. I think it was probably one of the like underrated worst movies I've ever seen. It is insanity that movie even made it into fucking production and then was released. Somebody sat down, a group of people sat down and were like, you know what? People are going to like this movie. We're going to make a lot of money off of this. Fucking clowns. And most of the time, I see this debate a lot with Sony, right? With Sony and the Miles Morales debate. We're going to jump right into the Miles Morales thing. Spider-Man, as we all know, is one of, if not the most popular character in comic book history. He is an icon. He's made it in the movies. He's made it in video games. We all know him as Peter Parker, as the alter ego. But Spider-Man is one of the most profitable and most popular comic book IPs out there. Is probably Marvel's biggest character, easily Marvel's biggest character. And so, with that being said, everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants a little nip at, the money, right? The money of Peter Parker. And so when they try to nip at the ankles of Peter Parker, of course, different people are going to be like slapping it down and like, trying to be like throwing copyright things onto it, right? DC tried to copycat Spider-Man for a long time. for a very long time. And so when we talk about Miles Morales, of course, the race issue becomes a topic of conversation, right? That's not even really the main point of Miles Morales. I know that a lot of people try and make the whole Miles Morales conversation about race. I'm going to clear that up real quick. And I tried, I like having fun saying Miles Morales is Miles Morales and Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But the truth is, when we look back at the history of why Miles Morales was created, or why any of these Sony movies like Morbius or Craven or fucking Madame Web are getting created, is because people want to nip at the Spider-Man rights. They want to nip at that money. They want anything they can attach to Spider-Man. Miles Morales might have been created to represent the face of Obama, right? He was meant to be a black superhero for black fans, basically, which is not inherently a terrible thing to do. But at the same time, the way they did it wasn't exactly the way I would have done it. Not at all. And so with Miles Morales, if you take away the virtue signaling aspect, if you take away the racial aspect, if you take away all of the debates that we have over Miles Morales, what it boils down to is Marvel Comics created Miles Morales so that if the day came that they lost the rights to Peter Parker's Spider-Man, they would have a backup in Miles Morales. So in the timeline event where Spider-Man becomes public domain, right? And now the public has has the right to own Spider-Man and do with them what they want, right? Or Marvel loses Spider-Man to the Ditko estate or the Stan Lee estate, losing the rights to the character. They prepared with Miles Morales. Miles Morales, more than anything else, is a backup plan to keep the IP of Spider-Man within their grasp so they can keep making money off of Spider-Man. That's why they want to replace Peter Parker with Miles Morales so much, is just in case that happens. That's why they keep doing this. They're trying to push Miles Morales so that they can keep their money. That's why they're doing it. They didn't realize how shit of a job they're doing when they do that, but here we are, right? People have started to notice, and they don't really notice that kind of thing that I mentioned of the rights issue. But how the fuck does something like Morbius get made? Morbius is made, and Craven and Madame Web. These movies are made so that Sony can keep the rights, or the film rights, that is, the film rights to Spider-Man, so that Disney and the MCU don't snatch them out of their grasp. As long as they're churning out content of vaguely similar Spider-Man shit, they can keep Spider-Man in their grasp. Because once Kevin Feige gets it, they ain't got no fucking money. What's Sony put out that isn't Spider-Man content that's made them any money? Fucking nothing. Even Ghostbusters Afterlife was a flop, I believe, back whenever it came out. And I like Ghostbusters Afterlife. I didn't like Ghostbusters 2016. I thought that was dog shit. But Ghostbusters Afterlife was pretty good. But Sony ain't making money without Spider-Man. And so churning out this content instead of art, instead of actually putting effort into it, is meant to maintain the rights of Spider-Man in their film universe. That is the only reason why characters like Miles Morales were created, characters in the Spider-Verse are created, or the fact that they made any of these stupid-ass Sony movies. So that's going to shut down any fucking debate on, Miles Morales. Isaac of the Dead is the kind of guy to confidently ask Godzilla to be his sugar. What? To confidently ask Godzilla to be his sugar baby, but gets mad that characters in the Marvel's film are using CGI to fly. What? 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 I don't understand. I don't understand. What? I'm not mad that they're using CGI to fly. I'm just mad that they fly. But asking Godzilla to be my sugar baby, like, that's pretty out of the blue for me. I don't know. I don't I don't I don't know how to respond to that. I really don't. I don't know how to respond to that. But thank you. Thank you. Um, so I just went on a rant about Miles Morales again because I know that topic always comes up, and people always seem to forget that the rights issue is more of a topic here. That's why they changed Namor in the last Black Panther movie, right? Because they didn't have the rights to Namor, so they called him Namor, Namor with an accent. Made him Mexican Namor, right? And so that's why they do a lot of the times. That's why gender swap characters is so that they can avoid rights issues. So they can be like, hey, we don't have to give you money or residuals because we created this new character that's basically your character, but with a new skin tone. And so that's what that all boils down to. And so everybody likes to throw in race in there, and it's like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay. So let's see. We covered Vilma. Witcher Blood Origin was bad. I watched Morbius this year. Morbius came out last year, but I watched it this year, and I consider it a disaster for eternity. It's one of the worst. So there you go. Marvels was an obvious one. I did do a live stream for the Marvels. I still haven't finished my review for the Marvels yet because I wrote it down. I need to film it. I need to edit it. I need to do all that shit. But I had finals when I did all that, and so hopefully, I'll come around to finishing it and I don't push it off too much because there's no way in hell I ain't monetizing the Marvels. I didn't waste that time for nothing. Okay, I'm gonna monetize the Marvels easily. I'm going to monetize. Oh, fucking. Okay, I watched Loki. Season 2. Fuck that show. I hated it. Loki was garbage. I watched season 2, fucking trash. I don't care what anybody says. Wasting my fucking time. Wasting my time. I don't know why people keep saying Loki is good. And they're like, oh, Loki's so good. It's like, tell me why. Tell me why. They took Loki and they made him a beta male crying little bitch so that his gender swap version could come and replace him. And at the very end of season 2, by the way, they undo the entire series. In like 45 minutes. They're like, hey, by the way, you watched all of season 2 and you watched all of season 1. Guess what? We're just going to reverse it. We're just going to send this story backwards for you. Thanks for watching our content, you fucking pigs. Apparently, that's how storytelling works with people like Michael Waldron, that little prick. Fuck that guy. Yeah, Loki season 2 is garbage. I don't care what anybody says. I watched it. And I'm going to make a review on it too. But yeah, I get tired of people saying, oh, it was so good. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. All right. I watched Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion was another bad one. That was fucking terrible. Secret Invasion was bad. It single-handedly killed the MCU. Screw Deadpool killing the MCU. Secret Invasion already did it. Secret Invasion was like, how would I compare it? I can't even call it The Last Jedi. I would say it was like The Rise of Skywalker, if anything. But I don't even know if that's, good enough to explain. The MCU got fucking nerfed in that show. But the damage was already building up from that point on, right? Everything from, I think the damage for the MCU really started at its core. A lot of people say it was Captain Marvel. A lot of people say it was Black Widow. It was after Endgame, right? I think, this is my opinion. A lot of people can vary, right? But I think that the MCU started dying around Iron Man 3. Because when they hyped up the Mandarin to be like this threatening, evil, comic book, at least comic adjacent relative villain that, was a mainstay in Iron Man lore, right? He was going to be a threatening villain. It turned out to be a fucking bait and switch clown that got whitewashed. And yeah, even back then, I was mad about that shit. I was like, why would you bring in the Mandarin and then do this with Aldrich Killian? Why? And then they like, why bring in MODOK after Iron Man's already gone? Like, it boggles my fucking mind. And you know why? You know why? It's because Kevin Feige is not a comic book nerd. Everybody likes to say that he is. He ain't. The people at Marvel don't read comics. They have people read Wikipedias to them. That's what they do. And so the damage for the MCU really started with Iron Man 3. And then subsequently from there, it was, few and far between, right? Few and far between when it comes to the mistakes of the MCU. But once it came down to things like Captain Marvel was a big fucking mistake. Easily one of the worst MCU movies ever. But then came Ant-Man and the Wasp. That wasn't so great. And Endgame, like Infinity War has a few problems, but Infinity War is one of the best MCU movies in my opinion. Easily. And although I liked Endgame, right, there's a lot of Endgame that I do like, right? That movie caused a lot of damage with things like time travel, the blip, Fat Thor, things like that. Captain America staring at his own ass, right? Like, there's things about Endgame that are very detrimental to the MCU, but at least it felt like it was good enough because it was a finale, that it would end the story from there. Well, then they kept going with things like Black Widow and the Eternals and Shang-Chi. The only saving grace for them was No Way Home. And I can't imagine it'll be long before they destroy the movie, that movie's credibility, right? Doctor Strange 2, fucking terrible. How do you kill Mr. Fantastic within 10 minutes of meeting him or introducing him to the MCU? How do you do that? And now there's rumors about Pedro Pascal. Yeah, old Pedro. Old Pedro. Daddy Pedro, as they call him. Going to be Mr. Fantastic now. Fucking great. Yeah, that's the challenge that I was calling out before, is cast an accurate Fantastic Four. Cast, if they look like the comic books, then you won the challenge. If they don't look like the comic books, you lost the challenge. So sad that people now think using and labeling others as beta, soy, childish is seen as toxic masculinity. Well, okay, so that depends, right? That depends. How I see this, okay. How do I form my conversation for this? Hold on. I have a brain fart. I get hit in the head too many times. Having a brain fart. Okay. Well, all forms of masculinity are toxic masculinity now. That's why you got to embrace your toxic masculinity self, right? So, can't use the term soy boy now without being accused of as an Andrew Tate follower. I don't care about Andrew. I don't either, to be honest. I have a couple friends that like him, and they're free to like him. That's cool, right? They're absolutely free to like Andrew Tate. I'm not like a huge Andrew Tate guy. I think he has some cool things to say, but he's not really for me, right? Like, I'm not one of those young guys that needs Andrew Tate in his life. So I don't need that, right? And so, but good for the people who do, right? But as far as guys calling each other names like soy boy, childish, beta, all that shit, like, I mean, it depends on how thick your skin is, right? Because if you're like buds with somebody and you're calling them soy just out of like shooting the shit, right? That's one thing. If you're calling them soy because they're actually like effeminate, you're being kind of like being a little bit of a bully. Yeah, it's think about like what you're saying to them and how it might affect them for sure. If it's like an actual like thing that's bothering them, but always talk and sit down and have a fucking conversation with somebody if they're actually getting butthurt over something. That's how adults do it. That's how fucking men should handle things. They shouldn't go swinging. They shouldn't go crying on fucking Twitter. They shouldn't be doing all this shit, right? And it's just name calling, right? It's just name calling. It's childish bullshit. But the idea that, you could call somebody a name and then be labeled as toxic masculinity is literally like eating your own tail. Like it's redundant, right? It's calling each other names because you can at that point, right? And so I don't see it as toxic masculinity. If anything, toxic masculinity doesn't exist to me. I think all masculinity is just masculinity. Toxic masculinity is like, I don't know. How would you describe frat boy energy? How would you describe a frat boy, right? Yeah. Uh, Basically, toxic masculinity, as a lot of people say, uh, is just like, it's like frat boy energy, right? So I don't see it as like a big deal. And so people try and slander us with like, and I say us as in guys, they slander us with toxic masculinity and all that shit. Like, I ain't taking the bait. Miss me with that shit. So, so let's see. Marvels came out this year. That was terrible. It's awful. I never want to see that movie again. Watch Secret Invasion. Also really, really bad. Really fucking bad. Let's see. What else came out there? Oh, Ant-Man. Antifa Man. Antifa Man and the Commie Mania. Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, or Commie Mania. Antifa Man. Yeah. Antifa Man came out, and I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. Not interested. So I don't care. But hey, it's one of the worst movies of the MCU, apparently. I don't care. I didn't watch it. I thought it was a waste of time, so I didn't watch it. I was just like, hey, sucks to be an MCU fan right now. Whenever I see a kid at Walmart with a Spider-Man shirt, I tell him stop being soy and grow up, training the future generations. Why? Because he's wearing a Spider-Man shirt? But he's a kid. And at Walmart of all places. So like, yeah, dude, like, here's my whole thing, right? Like, there's this the manosphere, the right wing kind of talking points that I see a lot, right? This is what, like, really, I say this a lot because it tickles my bum a little bit. So we have the Matt Walshes of the world, the Ben Shapiro's of the world, the Gavin McGinnises of the world, right? There's a lot of guys out there that are very right-leaning, for lack of a better term. I don't know how conservative they are or what their political stance is in terms of, like, I honestly don't care, right? My battle, the reason I created this channel, the reason I cover the things that I cover, the reason I have put in the work to join this sort of YouTube sphere is to save the culture, basically. We're in the middle of a culture war, and a lot of people think, oh, well, Hollywood could burn. But at the end of the day, what's coming on here is we're losing our culture, basically. What's going on is we're losing our culture. We're losing our identity as a nation, as Americans. As a Western society, we are losing our identity. You could say it's because of wokeness. You could say it's because of greed. You could say it's because of a lot of shit, right? But saying that something is woke is one thing. Having it actually be woke is another thing. Like, I will tell you straight up, Vilma was fucking woke. Vilma was woke. Rings of Power on Amazon was woke. The Marvels, I don't think the Marvels was really woke. Was it dog shit? Yeah, it was fucking awful. And the marketing and the actual conceptualizing of the movie was woke. The people in Hollywood and these studios, woke. They're all woke. Yes, I will use the term woke, intersectional feminist, fucking activist. I will use those terms when they're applicable. Yeah, but just going around saying, "Oh, this is woke, this is woke, that's woke, that's woke," I think it's redundant and it's damaging the actual meaning of the word. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm some sort of like social justice warrior for the other side because SJWs are fucking cringe. I'm also not going to be a manosphere guy, right? I'm not trying to influence young people to how they live their lives. It's like, I don't fucking care how you live. I don't care, right? You make your own decisions. You live your own life. I don't fucking care, right? Look at me. I'm old macho man, going around trying to save the youth. Like, it's whatever, right? For me, right? Like, I think people are people. We all have some sort of level of respect for each other, even if that means leaving them alone, right? Where I usually draw the line is when children are harassed, and by that I mean sexually groomed by weirdos in the education system. When propaganda is pushed on them by Hollywood weirdos who like to destroy our culture for the fucking lulz, right? My battle is sort of in that sort of arena where you could argue about politics all day. I have my own personal politics to handle, right? But all I want is uh, escapism, essentially. Escapism. Something that would take me away from the gripes of the real world because we are so divided as a country that we can't even we have family members that are starting to disown each other over fucking politics, right? And there was a time when things like Star Wars, Marvel, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, it didn't matter what your politics were. These things brought you together. They were the things that we all agreed on. We might have debated on who was stronger, Hulk or Wolverine. We might have debated about who would win in a fight, Sauron or Darth Vader, right? But at the end of the day, we were all fans of something that was until woke Hollywood. And I will say woke Hollywood. I don't want to just throw woke out, but I will say woke Hollywood stuck their greedy, corporatized, sticky fucking pedophile fingers into our beloved stories and destroyed them thoroughly. Star Wars is dead, by the way. I'm not like breaking any news to anybody. Star Wars is fucking dead. The only thing that could keep Star Wars alive is the fans. The fans could keep Star Wars alive, but Disney can't. Star Wars is fucking dead, and that is not by accident. That was by fucking design since day one. This is like a TED Talk. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you. I know my stuff. But essentially, throwing wokeness around is redundant. Throwing this idea of it's just woke because of this, right? Like, I get into fights all the time with conservatives who are just like, that's just woke, and therefore I won't watch it. Neither should you. I was like, well, I agree. You shouldn't watch it because it's woke. But at the same time, did you ever really care? Right? Because I saw a video of Matt Walsh going back. Like, he says the new Star Wars is woke garbage and he doesn't like it. And I was like, okay, that's fair. Right? Because the new Star Wars is woke garbage and it sucks. Right? But then I saw a video of Matt Walsh going and watching the older Star Wars movies. And when he saw those, he was like, oh, yeah, these are just as garbage as the new ones. And I'm like, what kind of crack are you smoking? How could you say that the old Star Wars is just as bad as the new Star Wars? It means you don't care. It means you just never cared. Right? And so it's just like, I think people are more capable than seeing a political aspect of things. Right? Like, it's God, how do I explain this? Because there's a lot of people that think like Spider-Man is infantile and like superheroes and tights are infantile. It's like, you can be an adult and like this stuff, right? You can be an adult and like comic books, like fictional movies, like all this stuff, And you could like, hell, you could like kids movies if that's your thing, right? I think there's a lot of good kids movies out there. I like as an adult that I grew up with, right? I still pay taxes. You know, I'm still trying to live. I'm trying to survive. I might not own a house. I might not own a car. I might be kind of a bum student, college student, right? But that doesn't mean I can't be an adult. People think that, like a lot of people, not just the right, the left. This is why the left infiltrated. This is why the left fucking infiltrated Hollywood and infiltrated these things. Is because the right abandoned them, by the way. But they did this and they changed these things that we love about these characters and these stories because they don't care. They never cared. They only thought about their agenda, right? They only thought about their political agenda, but they never cared about the characters. They never cared about anything else. And so things like infantile man baby liking Spider-Man, like certainly there are people out there who are a little bit infantile for sure. And I can understand where they're coming from. I can understand that. But the majority of people who can be grown-ass adults and have enough income to spare to go see movies, to buy comic books, to spend on these lavish things that we have as a Western society, those people do not like being called names by the mainstream media and called man babies, Yahtzees, or white supreme burritos. Like, they don't like that shit because they're paying customers. They're hardworking people who just like to escape, who just like to take a couple of hours to get away from the stress of real life. Some of us, some people pop a beer, some people play, chess, some people knit, right? We all have some sort of vice that is escapism. And that's all nerd culture is, regardless of your age. That's all it is. And people try and conflate it with, oh, you're just like some brain damaged retard. It's like, no, these people just have that thing to escape. And now the left has infiltrated that thing and fucking destroyed it and alienated the people who work hard to get to that escapism. Meanwhile, the right is like, well, it wasn't always that great to begin with. And therefore, the left infiltrated it. Makes me a little upset that I was born literally as that shift was happening. How old are you? How old are you, Octawave? You're about my age? Because I'm 25. I'm 25. Oh shit, did I not? Oh, okay, I think it's still up. But yeah, I'm 25, and like I remember, like 2005. Oh damn. Oh, you're a youngin. You're a youngin. All right. Nice to meet you. But yeah, dude, like, I can remember when the early 2000s were fucking awesome. I think the movies that came out in like 2007 were some of the best. Like, I mean, okay, granted, they weren't all the greatest in 2007, but it was still hype. That year was fucking hype. It all went downhill when Obama was president. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And so I know that a lot of people get heated about politics. A lot of people get all, bent out of shape and start to throw hands over this shit. But truth is, yeah, mainstream media and, Silicon Valley and basically anybody who's an establishment player sided with Obama at the time for cookie points, for woke cookie points. And that's when the Orange Man came around. Everybody started being like, you're Istafova thing. You starting throwing shade at him, and completely destroyed our culture. Completely destroyed our culture. Something like Star Wars was a blockbuster phenomenon 40 years ago. It solidified the Hollywood blockbuster as a mainstay in our Western culture. And now they're afraid to put out a movie because they know it's going to flop. They know it's going to flop. Speaking of flops, a lot of flops this year, huh? A lot of flops this year, including one from Lucasfilm, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery, the Dial of Dementia, the fucking kill me right now because I never want to watch that fucking movie. I'm never watching Indiana Jones 5. There are only 3 Indiana Jones movies. Only 3. Only 3. I hate that new Jones movie. Yup, fuck that movie. I do not intend to watch it ever. Never. Not on streaming, not on physical media. If it's on TV, if it just so happens to be on TV while I'm watching TV, I'll say, you know what? Give me that fucking remote. I am changing the channel. I don't want to watch it. I'm going to watch generic or geriatric Jones and the Dial of Dementia. Indiana Jones and the Insufferable Feminist. I ain't watching it. I don't care what the movie's about. Not interested. I saw what they did with Indiana Jones. I saw what they killed Mutt. They killed his son. Like, I only know that because I watch YouTubers who did watch it. And I saw reviews and I saw reactions and whatnot. I ain't spending a dime and I ain't spending a second watching that piece of shit. Fuck that movie. They used the Beatles song, and if you look at that song, the comments are overrun by Indiana Jones jokes. So stupid. That's weird. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. They used the Beatles song like in the advertisement or something. Because I had was it the song Magical Mystery Tour? Okay. So yeah, see, like I don't know if that was in the advertisement or if it was in the actual movie. I didn't watch it. I had no interest. After that first trailer, I was like, no, I ain't watching this dog shit. You know, the fucking disrespect that they have, the absolute gall Lucasfilm has to dig up Harrison Ford's grave and use his corpse as a marketing tool. Harrison Ford. The only reason he's even acting anymore is so he could get some drug money. That's the only reason Harrison Ford still acts, is because he needs that weed money. Oh, fuck, really? Did you watch it, Octawave? Did you actually watch the movie, or are you just like me, where you just heard some stuff? Because that sounds fucking terrible. That sounds awful. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they systematically destroyed Indiana Jones, and they did it because they're spiteful bitches, because they hate their audience. I hope Lucasfilm crumbles. I hope they fucking burn. I watched Ahsoka too. Oh god, that's fucking. Okay, so the one good thing about Ahsoka was it had like a few nostalgic things in it. They jangled the keys of nostalgia for Ahsoka. I saw the comments on my favorite Beatles album. That's how. Okay. But God, dude, like I never want to watch that movie. I watch that movie, and so like okay, to my point that I was making earlier, right? To the point I was making earlier. My dad, right? I'm gonna try not to throw my dad under the bus because I love my dad, right? I love my dad. I'm trying not to throw him over the bus here or under the bus, but he's definitely subscribed to the anti-wokeness sort of culture war thing, right? Like he and I have a lot of very intelligent and sometimes heated conversations about politics and the culture war, right? He went with me to Dallas to meet the F&T guys. My dad is very much. He and I were very much in tune politically for the most part, right? And we understand for the most part the culture war. But essentially, he is not as in tune with it as I am because he works a lot. He travels a lot, and he doesn't pay attention to it as much. I'm like kind of his go-to person. It's like, hey, don't spend your time on this because it's woke garbage. And he'll be like, okay, thank you. I got to go somewhere else. And so he listens to a lot of Ben Shapiro. He listens to a lot of Daily Wire, a lot of Jordan Peterson now. So that's good for him. But essentially, he was very much anti-wokeness. He's very much, oh, I'm not watching this new thing because it's woke. I'm like, oh, I'm proud of my father. I am. I'm teaching you well because he doesn't know the difference. He knows the difference because he likes. Okay, so I don't want to say he likes it. But he seems to be ignorant towards some things, right? He seems to be like, oh, I don't like wokeness, but this is okay. And a lot of people are like that, and it's not his fault, right? That a lot of people they don't pay attention. They work very, very hard, and they just don't have the time to pay attention to things. And therefore, they like things out of like weird, like ignorance, right? So one day I was picking up my dad from the airport, right? And he's very anti wokeness, as I've said. And I pick him up from the airport, and he's like, "I watched this new Indiana Jones movie on the plane." I'm like, "You mean Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, right? You've seen that one already?" He's like, "No, I'm talking about the new one with the time travel." I'm like, "What'd you think about it?" He's like, "It's okay." I'm just like, this okay. You see why I get frustrated. You see why I get frustrated, right? He's sitting there. He's like, I don't want to support Hollywood. I don't want to buy into the wokeness. Oh, I don't want to listen to that woke movie. But Indiana Jones 5, Dial of Dysentery was pretty good. So I'm not trying to throw my dad under the bus because I love my dad, right? Poor guy is very old. He's working hard. He's a hard working man. He doesn't have time to pay attention to some of the stuff, right? He doesn't see it when it's in his face a lot of the time. But I would use that as an explanation as to why a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people just don't get it, especially people on the right? Especially people who are on the conservative side that are like, oh, I'm not going to support wokeness. Oh, it's woke. Don't go see it. And then when they see something, they're like, oh, well, it's not actually that bad. I'm just like, fucking what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ben Shapiro did this shit too. Ben Shapiro was like, I am not supporting woke Disney. And then he watched Rings of Power and he thought, at least, okay, he watched Rings of Power, and the one episode that made me cringe into tears, he was like, oh, I really like Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Okay. How can you be here sitting here fighting the culture war, being anti-wokeness, and support one of the wokest things I've ever seen, Rings of Power? I don't get that shit. I don't get how these weird like pseudo conservative media talking points can sit there and be like, oh, I'm rah rah anti wokeness, and then fucking sit there and support woke shit, right? And especially in the culture war. And on top of that, as another thing. Okay, by the way, Octave Wave, I did see your comment. Disney owns the Beatles. That sucks. That really sucks. I hate to hear that. That's terrible. I hate to hear that. But I was getting back on track there. The Bud Light thing, that happened this year. It feels like it was like 5 years ago, but it happened this year. The Bud Light thing. Not really, but they own a documentary of theirs. They're owned by Sony, sadly. Oh, ooh, like Sony Records. Ooh, yeah, because I know that Disney owns the documentary because, like, what, Hulu, right? Or is it Hulu or is it on Disney Plus? I can't remember. But if they're owned by Sony Records, it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh yeah. But so that Bud Light thing, right? Bud Light happened this year, and I was at a bar last night. So okay, for context, I don't drink. I'm not going to be drinking tonight because I don't drink. Like, right, I'll celebrate New Year's at a bar with some friends and some family, but I'm not a drinker, right? Like, I'm very I'm very straight edge. I'm kind of that kind of kid. Never drank, never did drugs. So I never really had an opinion on the Bud Light thing, right? At least at first. At first, I didn't. At first, right? Once it started like blowing up and making the rounds, I started being like, okay, I see what's going on here. And I would like to say that that was one of the big disasters this year, and it scared the alphabets, it scared the big corporations, it scared a lot of fucking people into being like, oh, maybe this woke stuff isn't working. It's like, you think alienating your audience is a good idea? Long-term plan for your company, you think alienating your audience is a good idea? Just saying. And so, of course, Dylan Mulvaney coming out sponsoring Bud Light. All of a sudden, a lot of Bud Light people are like, you know what? I'm never drinking Bud Light again. And after a little bit of research, did my own conducting research, dug up a few alcoholics. Like, what does Bud Light taste like? And most of them are like, sewer piss. Very bitch made beer. So I would make the argument that if you were mad that Dylan Mulvaney was, sponsoring Bud Light, it just means that you're mad because somebody outed you as a homosexual. Because if you're drinking Bud Light before Dylan Mulvaney, you were already halfway there, brother. Right? It's light beer, for God's sake. Light beer. Drink Jack Daniels. Drink something like, if you're going to be an alcoholic, go all the way, right? I don't drink, so I don't really give a fuck. But I'm just saying, I thought it was kind of bizarre. That you watch the Is It Kino podcast? I do not. Sorry, I do not. Sounds familiar, but I don't know. I have not seen that podcast, no. But what point I was trying to make was a lot of people were like, oh, we're going to boycott Bud Light. And I'm glad that they did, because it did need to show everybody how alienating your audience is a bad move. It's a bad move. Did y'all notice the significant lack of pride flags this year? Significant lack of pride, especially in June. Significant. Because those motherfuckers were scared. They were scared after the Bud Light thing. Oh, excuse me. I have a burp there. Yeah, they were scared of the whole Bud Light situation. And yeah, maybe don't alienate your audience. That'd be a good idea, right? Yeah, I make the joke all the time. If you're drinking Bud Light before Dylan Mulvaney, it just means that people were they were calling you these names because you were drinking Bud Light, not because Dylan Mulvaney was supporting it. I'm just saying. But what was another disaster that happened this year? I guess you could say the Hollywood strikes. That was another fucking disaster. Of course, all the, speaking on unions, right? I know a couple friends and a couple people that are very pro-union. Some people are anti-union. Everybody's got their own thing. I don't care either way, right? I'm very much I think I am personally an anti-union kind of guy. Not because I don't like the idea of a union. I don't like the idea of having a second boss, right? I don't like the idea that you have to not only work for the boss that pays your bills, but also give hand jobs to the guy that's, running a guild within your company, right? And so I could be wrong because I don't know how all unions work. I imagine they're all varied. I'm only basing off of certain aspects. But the truth is, we as Americans, as working Americans, should have the right to unionize. We should have that right to do that. Whether or not I agree with it is irrelevant, because that is a right that workers should have, right? Especially if their lives are in danger, like coal miners, engineers, like people who have to unionize because their lives might actually be at risk of hurting something or hurting themselves, right? That's where unions are really effective. Where they're not effective, Hollywood. Oh man, those unions are stupid. And that's what happens with a lot of unions too, is what happened with Hollywood. They get infiltrated with Marxism. They get infiltrated with some of this commie shit. They get infiltrated with a bunch of ideas that lead them to play the game that the woke try to play, that the left try to play, that they did with Disney a while back when they were fighting DeSantis in Florida. Essentially, I'm not saying that unions should not be allowed to unionize, because they should. That is their thing. I would probably not join a union because I don't want a second boss. But to each his own. But at least I can understand why hardworking Americans who put their lives at risk would unionize for something like that. What I don't understand is why writers who are shit at their jobs and actors who are mega retarded beyond belief would ever say, we're going on strike, we want more money, from a corporation or corporations, from studios who actively agree with them and make all the decisions for them. There was no scenario that the actors and writers strike was ever going to benefit the actors or writers. Ever. They might have gotten a few residuals, a few things with the deal, but half of them were going to get screwed. And half of them did. Half of them did. Where they found an agreement, right? The studios found an agreement with the actors and the writers. Both strikes are done now. We're looking at another strike potentially. But what's going on here is Netflix, for example. Where they would have produced 50 shows a year, right? 50 shows a year on Netflix. Because of the writers and actors making a deal with them, they will now produce only about 30 shows a year instead of 50, which means they're producing significantly less shows, significantly less content, and therefore significantly less jobs are needed. So only a specific amount of actors and writers will get jobs now. So all the people who are living in cockroach apartments in LA who are hoping to get their big break with a Netflix deal, guess what? You got fucked. You got fucked because you came up with this idea that, oh, we're not getting enough money because we're so diverse and you hired us to be your diversity hires. And now we're putting the work in to write this lazy, contrived garbage that nobody likes, on top of having actors that constantly alienate the audience through Twitter, through these jerk-off award shows that nobody watches anymore. And we're starting to wonder where all the money went. It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe the money went back into people's pockets who were paying for movies before and away from you freaking weirdos. You Roman Polanski defenders. You Harvey Weinstein defenders. You know? They think that like the freaking universe revolves around them, and everybody knows that. They're egotistical maniacs in Hollywood, right? Most of them are completely like, I almost don't consider them human, not in like a genocidal way or anything, but I consider like they consider us to be less than. They consider us less than human. So therefore, I see them as fucking lizard people. They're lizard people. They're inhuman. They have no heart. They have no soul. They've lost all sense of wonder and magic that any Hollywood star could have because they've always been fucking freaks. They've always been weirdos. And so I used to want to be an actor. I used to want to be like the next Leonardo DiCaprio. Then I realized that all my colleagues in the theater classes and whatnot were fucking crazy. I realized that they were all fucking nuts. I guess it comes with the territory, right? But they're sitting there and they're asking for more money and asking for residuals and whatnot, as if their lives were, as if they were like living like in shit lives, right? Like, oh, we live in this cockroach apartment in LA. We're not getting paid enough by the studios. With the little picket signs. It's like, dude, you ain't doing shit. Your entire lifestyle is a luxury, right? You depend on the spare income of the fans. The fans, by the way, who you think are white supremacists, the fans that you have alienated over years and years of fan harassments and things like fucking what was it? Disney Star Wars, for example, making an enemy out of the fans, out of the people who like Star Wars. And then they have the fucking gall to say that we never liked Star Wars to begin with. So, like, I have no sympathy for Hollywood. I don't. Fuck them. Fuck Hollywood. And I hope they strike again. I hope they go on strike again. They fuck themselves, and they deserve to keep fucking themselves. They do. Because guess what? Guess what? You know why I think 2024 is going to be a crazy year? It's an election cycle. Something crazy is going to happen. Something crazy is bound to happen, right? I heard that 15 billionaires just built bunkers. I wonder why. I wonder why. Surely it's just a rumor, but maybe we'll see in the coming months. But I think it's crazy that a movie called Civil War, have y'all seen the trailer for that? The movie called Civil War comes out next year during an election cycle. Civil War. That's real charming of them. On top of that, they also got what was it? The Book of Clarence, which is basically Black Jesus, but serious Black Jesus instead of the like Adult Swim Black Jesus, right? And then there's also, I'm sure some people have seen the American Society of Magical. Should I say it? Should I say it? The American Society of Magical Knee. Can I say it? Can I say it? Somebody in the chat, let me know if I should say the American Society of Magical Knee. I don't know if I should say it. But that movie's coming out during an election cycle, intentionally to piss people off. That will easily be part of next year's worst of 2024. What is that? Oh God, dude! I wish I was able to share my screen because I would totally play the trailer. Hold on, let me try something. Let me see. Oh shit! Oh my God! Let me see if I can try this. Hold on. What happens if I do this? Let me see. Can you still see me? Let me see. Okay, I guess you can still see me. But you can't see the screen. Okay. I see what's going on here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you can't see the screen. Okay. So yeah, I'm not good at I'm not good at this streaming stuff just yet. I'm getting there. But in terms of oh wait, hold on. Whoa. Can you see that? Is that okay, that's weird. All right. Let's see. New tab. And we're gonna share the screen. All right. Look at all those tabs. Can you see it? What am I doing wrong here? This is already a mess. Let's see. Just the black screen? Shit. What is this? Let's see. Trying to see if I can fix this because I don't want it to just be a black screen. Otherwise, it's like Netflix. Damn it. What is this? Let me see. Damn. I don't know if I could. Hold on. Let me see if I can play this. Hold on. Let me see if I can play this.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
If you can't see it, this is really... Damn it. Are y'all still there? I don't know. Oh my goodness. What a disaster. I'm still figuring all this out. I am still figuring this out. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to try to see if this will work. But just listen to this. Like, you don't even have to watch the trailer. Just listen to this shit, right?
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I don't want to take you to a job interview. There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to say.
This is a real movie. This is a real thing, by the way. This is not a parody. This comes out March 22nd by Focus Features. This is a real thing. Listen to this shit.
What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad.
You hear that? You hear that? Let's take you back for a second.
What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff for us. That's why we fight white discomfort every day. Because the happier they are, the safer we are.
The name needs a little updating, maybe like magical black people, or I guess that doesn't have the same ring.
You ready?
Oh, wow.
Your first client is a Jason Munn. His morale is far too low.
Hey.
Hey.
Darn it. I was hoping there was a station right next to him.
Oh, is this one spoken for? What I was doing.
You cannot have a relationship with Lizzie
Let's
now,
skip through
because
a
if you
little
don't
bit.
put Jason first.
I skipped through that because I don't know if there's going to be any copyright issues on this, but I'll tell you what, man. That is insanity. Insanity. All right, so let me see if I can. I gotta fix this somehow, but you got the main point. Let's stop sharing that, and we're gonna go back to here. Can you see me yet? Am I stopped sharing? What is this? Where am I at? Where am I? Yeah, we're back. We're back. Yeah. That was the American Society of Magical Negroes, an actual movie they plan to release March 22nd next year. Funny, it comes out during an election cycle. That, I advise everybody to go watch the trailer and give it a nice little dislike for Dizek. Just say Dizek sent you and give it a nice dislike. But that's why I don't feel bad for Hollywood. I don't. They have the fucking gall to put that out during an election cycle. Hell, that's probably why they ended the strikes. I would not be surprised if the reason they actually ended the strikes was so they can put out movies like the American Society of Magical Negroes and Civil War and the Book of Clarence and whatever other woke bullshit they can come up with, so they can stir the pot. Those window licking fans of the playground motherfuckers. They are. So that'll be next year's top disasters. So yeah, I can't wait for that shit. So we covered Indiana Jones, covered Bud Light, the strikes, which I hope they fucking strike again. Rings of Power season 2 didn't come out this year, but a lot of a lot of news came out about like dead horses on set, and a lot of news came out about things like what's it called? Basically, Gary from Nerdrotic did a video on this, like 7 reasons why God doesn't want Rings of Power season 2, and I don't blame him. I don't blame Aru Iluvatar. I do not blame Iluvatar for not wanting a season 2 of Rings of Power for sure, for sure. And so you could consider that a disaster, but I don't know. I don't know. I went to dislike it and saw funny comments. Yeah, dude. Yeah. The comments actually give me a little bit of hope with humanity, right? I was expecting the comments to be like enraged and like like very divided, but I was surprised at how uniting the comments were. The comments were very encouraging for me. They're like, oh, there's still humanity left. We still have a chance. I'm glad people have enough common sense to see this as for what it is, racist garbage. And so thank God. Thank God the comments existed for that. But yeah, I have no sympathy for Hollywood. So what's some more disasters that came out this year? We're not even done through the worst. We're not even done through the worst. Let's see. If only there were a movie called Cult of okay, if only there were a movie called Cult of Magical Talented Filmmakers. That's good. That's good. I guess you just call it Bohemian Grove, right? You just call it Bohemian Grove. But Cult of Magical Talented Filmmakers. Man. So let's see. We got Indiana Jones. Most of the DC movies that came out, I didn't watch them. I didn't watch a single DC movie that came out. I didn't watch The Flash. I didn't watch Blue Beetle. I just made a video. Didn't watch Aquaman poo. You know, I didn't watch Shazam. I like once James Gunn came out with excuse me, the announcement of a DC reboot. Those other movies, like they were set up to fail. They had no chance. No chance. And that sucks because I liked some of the actors in those, but not enough to bring me back. Not enough to bring me back. It really does kind of blow though. They got what they fucking. You made the bed you want to lie in, right? Or you lie in the bed that you made, kind of thing. I never saw the trailers for Aquaman until the week of its premiere. No one talked about it. Yeah, that's true. And according to box office stuff right now, it's tracking worse than the Marvels. And the Marvels, actually, speaking of the Marvels, I already said my thoughts on it, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the worst movies this year. But it's also the biggest flop in MCU history because this movie, the Marvels, right, cost about 250 to 300 million to make. Your average CGI filled slugfest of a fucking movie, right? So it needs around 600 to probably 900 to break even. And that's just based off the reported numbers, right? We have no idea how much they actually spent on it with all the reshoots and pushbacks, right? They could have spent 300 million to 350 million for all we know, right, on the Marvels, which would mean that they'd have to crack 1 billion just to break even, just to get their fucking money back. This movie ended up with less than 100 million domestically, and I believe less than 100 million globally. Like the movie hasn't even scratched 200 million worldwide. The movie, let me see if I can't pull up the. I'm gonna see if I can't pull up the box office for the Marvels. Stupid! I typed in the wrong thing. Box office Marvels. So this is from Screen Rant. So Screen Rant, reliable in being shitty. let's see. Where are we at? Oh, okay. Hold on. I gotta let it load for a second because I just realized the number there. Oh, come on, you fucker. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Oh man. I don't even know how that's possible. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even gonna trust Screen Rant. Fuck those losers. We go to Box Office Mojo. If I can get there, this slow thing. Come on, stop being slow. Anyway, it says that Aquaman 2 earned 250 million globally. I don't really buy it. I don't buy it. That's Screen Rant, by the way, so I don't buy it. But 199 million sounds about accurate. Sounds about accurate. Let's take a look at Box Office Mojo. I think it's loading right now. Let's see. Let's look at it. 84 million domestic. 84 million domestic for the Marvels. So domestically, that bitch didn't even crack 100 million. That bitch didn't even crack 100 million. You ever watch the Roodles? I'll answer that in a second. But 84 million domestically for the Marvels. Didn't even crack 100 million. 121 internationally for the Marvels, which only means, well, it looks pretty good. Cracked 205 million for the Marvels. Good for them. Too bad they're not going to make any money back. Sucks. That sucks. But they were averaging about, let's see, what was it? They were averaging like $1,000 a theater, just about. Like it was bad. Like there was in some cases it was less than 1,000 per theater. But hey, sucks to be Kevin Feige right now, huh? So anyways, ever watched the Ruddle? Is it Ruddles or Roodles? Let me see. Because I may have, but I don't know. I think I would have remembered, right? I think the 1978 film. No, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. What's it about? It looks like it's a parody of the Beatles, kind of. Well, it looks like it's based off the rock band, but I could be wrong because I didn't watch it. So I'll be honest enough to say that I didn't watch it. Not because I didn't want to, but just because I've never seen it. Right? Yeah, I wouldn't know. So there's a second one. Can't buy me lunch. I think it looks like a parody of the Beatles though. Anyway, yeah. Oh well, that sucks for the Marvels. Let's see what else came out this year. What else came out this year? I'm trying to think. So we had DC, we had Marvel. Oh yeah, you know what I just remembered. Okay. It's a mockumentary of the Beatles, but with a twist, or a twist or twist. It's a really good parody, and it's actually one of the first forms of parody culture mockumentary. Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out then. Because that sounds kind of cool. That sounds kind of funny. I'd be down for that. I would totally watch that. Do you know a place I could find it? Do I have to find it on physical media, like a DVD or something, or is there like a place I could find it, like a Netflix or whatever? Like, is there an actual like? Is I don't know. I don't know where I would find it. I guess we could see. Where too much. YouTube free. Oh, how about that? Let's see. On Amazon Prime. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, it's on YouTube for free. How about that? Nice. I'll have to check it out then. I'll have to check it out. Thank you. have to check that out. So what was I saying? I'll have to check that out. Okay. It's Mandalorian season 3. That came out this year. I wanted to make a video about Mandalorian season 3, but I never came around to it. Same people who made Monty Python? Oh, hell yeah. Now I'm definitely watching it. Now I'm definitely watching it. Yeah. That sounds cool. Better than watching The Mandalorian, which was borderline Monty Python. But hey, is what it is, right? I've grown to hate The Mandalorian now. Not because it's like terrible, but because it's like terrible. If I were to, I don't know how to put it. Like, dude, that season 3 was brain rot. Season 3 was trash. And I used to like Baby Yoda. I was very interested in liking Baby Yoda and what his backstory was, right? And now I just want to punt the little bastard. I just want to super kick him right out of his little floating, baby carriage thing. I just want, yeah. Every time I see a Baby Yoda toy at like a grocery store or something, I just have an urge to Jean-Claude Van Damme that little bitch. Just want to super kick him. It's like, you destroyed Star Wars, you little shit. It's because you brought in all the normie people. You brought in all the fucking people who don't care and don't give a shit about Star Wars, and became the equivalent of a Funko Pop to a bunch of crazy feminists, by the way. And I never went anywhere. Never went anywhere. Baby Yoda is no more than a magical MacGuffin. Just a little chihuahua. It's all Baby Yoda is. It's all he'll ever be. He will never grow up to be an actual character. He will forever be a marketable chihuahua that will get a bunch of cat ladies to subscribe to Disney Plus. And I think the best thing about season 3 of Mando was the droid racism. That was funny. That was actually pretty funny. It was the droid racism and the Mandalorian season 3. If they keep up the droid racism, I might watch season 4. But I don't know. I can't even talk about the Mandalorian without getting depressed now. It's so fucking boring and lame and stupid. It was just, yeah, fuck that. He was in Fortnite, by the way. Tier 100. What? Okay. Never got it. Doesn't seem worth it. Probably not. I don't know. I don't play Fortnite. Not for a lack of trying, though, right? Not for a lack of trying. I have a lot of friends and family, some family, like my cousins and whatnot, that might play Fortnite. I heard it's a fun game. Maybe one day I'll try it. Maybe one day I'll get to it, right? But I'm very consumed with a lot of things that I'm doing that I haven't had time for a lot of video games lately. If you were to ask me what's my favorite video game of the year, I'd be like, if I played any, I would have said Hogwarts Legacy. That would have been one of the more successful things. It was Hogwarts Legacy. But yeah. I didn't play Baldur's Gate. Oh, you can fuck a bear in that game, apparently. Playing as Peter Griffin. Does that mean you're immortal? Does that mean like you can go around and do things without consequence and like fart in people's faces and still be considered dad of the year? I think that'd be kind of funny to be like super chaotic, like go Goku level of power, but as Peter Griffin. That'd be kind of funny. I love that. I'd love that shit. Roadhouse. Yep. yeah. Just going around super kicking everybody. That'd be great. I'd play that. I'd play Fortnite for that. Let's see. Mandalorian came out. That was garbage. I watched the first couple episodes of The Last of Us, and so granted, right? Like I watched playthroughs of The Last of Us, right? I've never played The Last of Us myself. I might play it one day, but I watched playthroughs a while back, and so I understood the story of The Last of Us. I also know what happens in The Last of Us Part 2. I know how infamously trash that game is. And so I highly anticipate season 2 of the HBO Last of Us. However, season 1 of The Last of Us, based off the video game, from what I saw, I never finished it, mainly because of time, right? I didn't have time for a lot of it. But from what I saw, it wasn't bad. Like, I don't want to say that because I didn't finish it, right? I didn't finish it. But from what I saw, there was some things that I liked and some things that I didn't. I still don't like Pedro Pascal. I don't think I'm ever going to like that guy. I think he's, skirt wearing weirdo. But and Bella Ramsey or whatever her name is, she's a terrible Ellie to me. She's a terrible Ellie. She doesn't look attractive or like poor girl got the Uggo stick, in my opinion. Got the Uggo stick. She didn't look like Ellie to me. She didn't act like Ellie to me. And at least Pedro Pascal acted like Joel for the most part, from what I could tell. But for every good thing, there was always a bad thing. Like the episode 3, where basically you got to see Bill have butt sex with what's his name, right? That was unnecessary. Unnecessary. I think it was at that point that I stopped watching. It's at that point I stopped watching. So I never finished it. So I would say that's in the lower tier, probably mid to lower tier of this year. It wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen. Certainly has some good aspects about it, but bring me season 2 of The Last of Us. Bring me The Last of Us Part 2. I fucking dare you, HBO. I fucking dare you. Let's go ahead and kill Pedro. Kill Pedro. Hope Gina Carano does it too. I hope they cast Gina Carano as Abby and have Gina Carano go up there with a fucking lead pipe and bash his head in. What was it? Not the lead pipe. It was the 5-iron, right? Bash him over the fucking head. Kill Pedro Pascal's Joel. Do it. Do it. I want to see those losers do it. They didn't even realize the kind of bullshit they got themselves into with that shit. Octoy says, didn't care for it. Rip off of The Walking Dead. Speaking of The Walking Dead, you're about to get me on a fucking rampage. You're about to get me on a rampage with The Walking Dead. So, my throat is getting sore. Ladies. The Walking Dead. So, yeah, you're right. I can understand why you wouldn't care for it. It has absolutely got the DNA of The Walking Dead. And by DNA, I don't mean fingerprints. I mean leftover cum stains. But essentially, The Walking Dead this year has been abysmal. Abysmal. Granted, I like Daryl Dixon. I put out my reviews for the Daryl Dixon show. I don't think it was great, right? I don't think the Daryl Dixon show was great, but I think it was easily one of the better things I've seen this year in terms of The Walking Dead, at least. I still have not watched Dead City, so I can't really judge Dead City, but I don't imagine it's very good. I don't imagine Dead City's very good because I can't wait to watch Maggie cut the balls off of Negan. That's something I want to see. Yeah, sure. But Daryl Dixon was actually not like terrible. I didn't think it was that bad. Was it like slightly kind of woke? Maybe a little bit. I couldn't tell, and usually I'm able to tell. I couldn't tell with this. It didn't seem like it because it had a lot of like Catholic religious aspects in it too, which if it was super woke, it would have never had any sort of religious or Catholic vibes to it. But it did, right? It did. And so there was a few brownie points for that for me, but it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it wasn't like dog shit either. I still need to finish the main Walking Dead show because I never finished the last 8 episodes or so. So I'm going to have to finish that eventually so I can finally get to The Ones Who Live, which is the show that's supposed to be about Rick Grimes and Michonne coming out in February. It's coming out very soon. That is my end goal, or my limit with The Walking Dead. I am so motherfucking tired of watching The Walking Dead. I am exhausted with being a fan of The Walking Dead this motherfucking long and having a story go absolutely nowhere. And so The Ones Who Live is the show where Rick Grimes and Michonne return. And I'm at the point where if that show is dog shit, I will never watch The Walking Dead ever again because I am so fucking exhausted with that shit. I am so done with this run around fucking stupid backwards ass storytelling that the Walking Dead universe has constantly done with like 10 different spin-off shows. It's ridiculous. And I haven't even gotten to Fear the Walking Dead yet. I haven't even gotten to my take on Fear the Walking. You know what? I'm gonna do this now. I might as well do this now while my throat's starting to hurt from talking so fucking much. But I'm bitter. I am bitter about Fear the Walking Dead because I was a fan of Fear the Walking Dead back like in its first 3 seasons when characters were kind of interesting, and I was hoping that it would tie back into the main TV show. And I know a lot of people stopped watching after Carl's death in like season 8, right? That's a perfect time to dip out of the series because that's when the show should have fucking ended. That's when The Walking Dead should have fucking ended from the beginning, and everything should have continued in Fear, right? Fear should have been the continuation of the main Walking Dead show. And so they had their final season of Fear the Walking Dead this year, and it is easily probably one of the worst TV shows. Well, not worst TV shows, right? So how I would describe the ending of Fear the Walking Dead is comparable to the ending of Game of Thrones. It was that bad. The characters became stupid. The world became small. And on top of that, none of the payoffs in the final season were ever deserved. I can't describe to you the abominable fuck up that is The Walking Dead. I have not seen so much neglect in such a show. And there's still people out there who are watching it that are like, it's so good. It's so good. I'm like, what are you talking about? It destroyed the characters. It destroyed it's like, oh my God, dude. Just thinking about it. Just thinking about The Walking Dead is painful. That's how fucking bad it is. Like I am exhausted with the fucking Walking Dead. And so yeah, the final season of Fear the Walking Dead is god awful. And it's basically imagine yourself, right? Imagine yourself being invested into a TV show. All right. You sit there every week, you watch a new episode, you come back for the next episode. It's got your attention, it's got you hooked. You wait for a year for another season sometimes. And then all of a sudden, they start changing things up. And every once in a while, they make a few bad decisions, make a few good decisions. But essentially, you're like, I want to see how this ends. I want to see how this show ends because I'm invested. I love the character, right? All of a sudden, the final season comes around, and they tell you to fuck yourself. They're like, oh, that's our final season, but we're just going to go ahead and tell you that we never had a plan. And you wasted 8 years of your life watching our dog shit. Yeah, after seeing the abysmal fuck up that is Fear the Walking Dead, after seeing the abysmal fuck up that is The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead, I don't know if I ever want to watch another fucking zombie movie ever again, or zombie TV show or whatever. But Fear the Walking Dead was garbage, and I intend to make a video on it. I intend to finish my video on it and actually make a video fixing Fear the Walking Dead and fixing the Walking Dead universe. But once the Ones Who Live comes out in February, and once that's done with, my final verdict on this whole franchise will be complete. And depending on how good or bad that show is, will determine whether or not I continue watching The Walking Dead, because I am so fucking tired of The Walking Dead. It's unreal how fucking bad that show was. Game of Thrones level of terrible in terms of ending a show on its finale and whatever else. Let's move on. Let's move on to something else. Holy shit. I hated it. I hated it. That might be one of the worst things this year for me. Let's see. What else came out this year? Ahsoka. Ahsoka was pretty bad. Ahsoka was pretty bad. I watched Ahsoka all the way through. Great thing about it is it has good ideas, but terrible writing, terrible characters, terrible producers, terrible directors, terrible studios, terrible fans, and on top of that, I guess you could just say a terrible IP at this point. And I'm only saying that because I'm angry. I'm angry at Star Wars. I'm angry at Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm used to be a great company. Star Wars used to be my favorite IP. For every good idea that Ahsoka brought, it brought an equally shitty idea. And people need to stop praising Dave Filoni as this heir to George Lucas. He sold out. Dave Filoni sold out like immediately to Kathleen Kennedy. So I pretty much spoke my mind on Ahsoka. That's easily one of the worst for me this year. But I'm trying to think of what else came out this year. That I guess you could say Willow, but it was like at the very tail end of 2022. So I didn't watch Willow. Thank fuck. Percy Jackson came out this year. I still haven't watched it. I might watch Percy Jackson just to see how terrible it is. But I don't know how much time I want to waste, right? I don't know how much time, because I don't think we're ever going to see a proper Percy Jackson done in live action. I just don't see that happening. Let's see. Oh, Transformers, Rise of the Bestiality came out this year. I didn't watch that. I think that was also shit. That wasn't appealing to me. Yeah. I didn't watch Transformers Rise of the Bestiality. I did not watch that. No. Didn't appeal to me. I'm trying to think about what other movies came out this year. You know what? Actually, what I'm going to do, if you hang on for a second there, dear viewers, I'm going to look up 2023 in film. Give me that. Let's go. Let's do a run through. Let's do a run through of what films we got this year. List of American films. All right. Here we go. Oh my God, stupid fucking ads. Okay. Let's see. Top. Okay, so here's the top 10 box office movies, right? Here's the top 10 box office. Barbie's at number 1. Oh, excuse me. That's I guess that makes sense because it made $1 billion. And it barely beat Super Mario Bros., which Super Mario Bros. Was pretty good. Oh, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I didn't watch it. Could have been good. I mean, I guess a lot of people who did watch it liked it, but like I just didn't watch it. I didn't watch the first one. I didn't watch the first Spider-Verse movie. I might watch it just for context and see what the hype's about. If the movie isn't that good, like a lot of people got hyped from it. I might see what it didn't even. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Is that it gave you kind of blue balls at the end, right? That's what I heard, and so, but yeah, I might see what the hype's about, and make my own opinion, but I don't really have high expectations, right? Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'll get to that in a minute. Oppenheimer, Little Mermaid. Shit, I forgot about Little Mermaid. I forgot about the Little Mermaid. How did I forget about that? Oh my goodness. That was a mega disaster. On top of that, the Snow Brown and the 7 baristas. Snow Brown and the 7 Seattle baristas. It's supposed to come out in a couple years. Yeah. The Little Mermaid. I just call it that Black Mermaid movie. I just call it that. That came out. That was underperformed, it looks like. Still made number 5 at the box office above Ant-Man and the Wasp, Commie Mania. So Antifa Man and the Wasp, Commie Mania. John Wick Chapter 4. I like John Wick Chapter 4. Wasn't the greatest movie ever, but I liked it. Sound of Freedom. We're going to get into Sound of Freedom here real quick. I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to get to where I'm going here. And then number 10 is the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Clearly, I didn't watch that. I did not watch the Taylor Swift movie. But we're going to take a look at this movie lineup here. Oh, did anybody in the chat see Megan? The horror movie with the little child robot thing? Anybody see that? I didn't watch it. Yeah, it's all right. I might check it out. So I ain't got no opinion on it because I haven't seen it. It looked kind of funny. So I might watch it later and, see how I feel about it. But it's not on my best or worst this year, right? Like, it doesn't really fall on my best or worst. Let's see. What do we got here? Where are some movies that came out? We got some of these, like some of these movies just kind of flew under the radar. All right. Some of them, like, did anybody watch Doggone? Or There's Something Wrong with the Children? Or Missing? Like, did anybody watch any of this shit? Like, no wonder the lowest box office of the year, dude. Holy shit. Lowest box office in like the past 20 years. Kids versus Aliens. When did that come out? When You Finish Saving the World? What are these? Like, when did these come out? When did the Teen Wolf movie come out? Shotgun Wedding. Oh, I remember that. One. Okay. Some of these, like, I remember advertisements for Knock at the Cabin. I didn't watch it. Not because I didn't want to. It was just like another one that was just like flew over my head, right? Magic Mike came out this year. Let's see. Antifa Man. Oh, shit. I haven't seen Cocaine Bear. I need to watch Cocaine Bear. I'm gonna see if that's like decent entertainment or like just dog shit, like poop posts, just shit post of a movie. Cocaine Bear. Luther. That was a Luther movie. That's weird. Jesus Revolution. That seems like it was a good movie, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Jesus Revolution. Creed 3 came out. Did anybody see Octawave? Did you see Creed 3? I don't know if that's any good. I didn't watch the first 2 Creeds. I only know of the Rocky stuff. So I don't know how to judge that. No? Okay. Let's see. Children of the Corn came out. That flew under the fucking radar. Scream, is it 7? No, 6. Scream 6. Also, like, wait, that came out this year? 65. Yeah, flop. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Nope. Didn't watch it. Boston Strangler. That came out. Okay. Oh, excuse me. A Good Person. The Tutor, Last Sentinel. Dungeons and Dragons. Did that come out this year? Was that this year? I didn't watch Dungeons and Dragons. I wasn't interested. I thought it was gonna be woke garbage, but heard it was like decent, but not interested. Not interested. John Wick Chapter 4. I'll go ahead and say it for now. John Wick Chapter 4 was easily in my top 5 movies this year. Analytically speaking, John Wick Chapter 4, like, it's not the greatest movie ever, right? As a movie critic, as a guy who could go to a movie and make a video on it and critique it and do all that stuff, it's not the greatest movie ever, right? But it was enjoyable. It was worth the experience. It was very fun. And the point of John Wick Chapter 4 was to kind of sit down and chug some, Coke Icy and, stuff your face full of popcorn and have a good fucking time. And so that's basically what John Wick 4 was. It was just a good time. And so I put that in my top 5 movies this year. Just because of the experience, And I can understand why people are tired of the John Wick, franchise. Totally understandable. But I think that was worth the trip. So that was good. Oh, Tetris was good. I think that's in my honorable mentions, was Tetris. Tetris was a Apple TV. It was based off of the guy who created Tetris, the video game. That was good. I watched Tetris. That was good. I recommend Tetris. But it is like a biography kind of movie. So if you're not into like biography stuff, then it might not be for you. The fuck is Acid Man? Space Oddity, Spinning Gold. When did any of this shit come out? Oh, okay. I didn't watch Air. I wanted to watch Air, but haven't gotten to it. So maybe I'll watch Air soon. Super Mario Bros. Movie. Super Mario Bros. Movie is my top 5 as well. That is top 5 best of the year. Super Mario Brothers movie. That was good. I like that. Can't think of a TV show this year that was like super good. Maybe Yellowstone. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's take a look at this. What? I didn't watch Renfield. Beau is Afraid. The Pope's Exorcist. Nefarious. These are all movies that look like they were kind of interesting. That like just never saw them. Never took the time to go and watch them. I didn't think they were super worth it. But oh shit. Do a review on Xavier Renegade Angel. Well, when my audience makes requests, new film coming next year. As in, like, they're making a movie about the Xavier Renegade Angel. They're actually doing that. They're making a feature-length film about Xavier. Oh, fucking. Oh my goodness. For a second there, I thought you were gonna have me watch shit post and brain rot for an hour and a half. Which I could still do. I do it with watching Marvel movies now. But Jesus Christ. A Xavier Renegade Angel movie, like where they actually sit down and write an hour and a half movie. I'm like, how the fuck would you even do that? Let's see. Quasi didn't watch it. Ooh, Evil Dead Rise. I watched Evil Dead Rise. Not great. Wasn't like terrible. Like it could have easily been woke, but it wasn't. And so it was just like whatever, Wasn't exceptional. It didn't add anything to the Evil Dead franchise. And I'm one of the people that subscribes to the idea that no Ash, no peace. No Ash, no peace. The Evil Dead franchise is not Evil Dead without Ash Williams. Which By the way, I guess I could say my TV show of the year, for now at least, is what did I watch True Detective this year? I think I did. I think True Detective I watched this year. I could say True Detective was a TV show that I watched this year. It came out years ago, but I watched it this year. And so True Detective is probably one of my greatest TV shows this year. I watched Ash versus Evil Dead as well. Ash versus Evil Dead. If you like the Evil Dead franchise, Ash versus Evil Dead is fucking great, and I recommend it. So as far as Evil Dead goes, no Ash, no peace. Chevalier. Oh, I remember that. Garbage. Didn't watch it. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. I think I might like The Covenant. I haven't seen The Covenant, but I might like The Covenant. Peter Pan and Wendy. That happened this year. Remember when Peter Pan and Wendy came out? When we had race swapped Tinkerbell and everybody lost their shit? Yeah. That went by like a fart in the wind. This big George Foreman. Never watched it. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Didn't watch it. Didn't watch Peter Pan and Wendy. No, thank you. Sorry. Wasn't interested in non-binary children. Fucking weirdos. Sisu. Octawave, my man. Sisu is a fucking great movie. It's about if you haven't seen, have you seen it? Because if you haven't seen it, it's in World War II. It's like at the very tail end of World War II. And it's about this Finnish guy. He's like out in the middle of nowhere. And he discovers gold, right? He discovers gold on his farmland. And he goes to try and take it back into town so he can cash it out. And he runs into a band of Nazis. And the Nazis are like, give us your gold. And he's like, I ain't giving you my gold. He doesn't actually speak, though. Like in the movie, he doesn't say a word until the very end. It's like the very last line of the movie is when he speaks a word. But he doesn't speak the whole time. And he just goes on this like murderous rampage of like killing Nazis, right? And so basically he's a one-man death machine. And so he's not called Sisu. The movie's called Sisu. Sisu's like a term for like never giving up, like having extreme like ability to overcome insurmountable odds. And so Sisu is just like, it's violent, it's gory, it's very ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. If you can't suspend your disbelief, you might not like it. But the movie is just a blast. I fucking love Sisu. It's a great movie. I recommend it. I recommend Sisu. It's just a bloody. If you ever saw Inglourious Bastards, it's like Inglourious Bastards mixed with John Wick. Like it's fucking great. Let's see. The Mother. When did that come out? What the hell? Book Club. Don't care. Knights of the Zodiac. I might watch that. I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So this is the interesting part, right? This is the interesting thing. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is easily, you scroll past, okay. Guardians 3 is easily the best Marvel movie of Phase 4 or 5. Probably second to No Way Home. Does that mean it's great? No. It's very mid. It's very mid. And it's good enough that I don't hate it, right? I don't hate it. It's pretty good. I recommend it for people who like Guardians of the Galaxy. But if you're just not interested, I would say skip it. You know, I totally don't blame you for wanting to skip out on Guardians 3 just for the stigma of it, right? But to each his own, as I say. Guardians 3 is definitely in my honorable mentions as one of the better movies this year. And it certainly does push a message, but not the message, right? There was a hardcore debate about like, they're pushing animal cruelty message in there. It's like, well, I actually sympathize more with CGI animals than I do weirdo grooming activists. So that's just my stance on that. Weirdo grooming activists do not deserve a voice in my superhero movies. But if you want to make an allegory about animal cruelty and do it subtly and do it in a way, well, not subtly, they didn't do it subtly, but if you want to do it in a way that's persuasive, per se, I don't see what's wrong with spreading the awareness of animal cruelty. You know, I don't want people hurting the puppers. You know, nobody should be hurting animals for no reason other than food and, you know, hunting or whatnot, right? But that's a message I can probably get behind. But the fact that they hammered over the head was a bit aggressive. So yeah, for all of its flaws, Guardians 3 wasn't terrible, but like it wasn't great either. You know, so it's like if you're not interested, then skip it. But if you're just desperate and clamoring for another Marvel movie, you'll be fine with it. You'll be fine with it. I didn't watch Fast X because I haven't like ever watched a Fast and Furious movie. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I don't know why I don't do that, but it's whatever. Let's see. Little Mermaid, already covered it. White Men Can't Jump. They remade that movie. They remade White Men Can't Jump. I don't know why. I don't know why you bother remaking White Men Can't Jump. But hey. Kandahar? Is that a... Wait, what? I don't even know half these movies. The Wrath of Becky? Y'all ever heard of The Wrath of Becky? That's a movie that came out. When did this happen? Who let this happen? When did half this shit come out this year? Most of it is beyond me how the shit came out. Boogeyman, didn't watch it. There's Transformers, Rise of the Bestiality. It's right there. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Heard the hype was there. I don't know how real the hype is. Flamin' Hot. Wait, was that a movie? I don't know half this shit in here. Elemental came out. Elemental was fucking funny. Does that say Taga Mayapa? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. This year was the worst year for cinema. Yup. It was. Asteroid City, didn't watch it. Don't care. Didn't watch it. Elemental, didn't watch it. Hope it flopped, I think. So good for them. The Flash. I heard The Flash was like okay for being dog shit. I didn't watch it. I made a video saying that I wasn't going to watch it. I might still watch it at home, you know, whenever I just find the time to suffer. But I didn't watch it in theaters, so I don't care. No Hard Feelings. Was that a movie that came? Fucking Extraction 2? I need to watch Extraction. And so I need to watch more stuff like Extraction. Let's see. God is a Bullet. When did that come out? Ruby Gilman, Teenage Kraken. Didn't watch that. Not for me. They need to make a Morbillion. Oh, I can't pronounce that. More movies like Godzilla Sub-Zero. You mean Godzilla -1? And you're right, they do. They need to make more movies like that. Because they're actually good. Godzilla -1, easily my best, like my favorite movie this year. My number one pick this year. Let's see, Nimona. You can flop right here on this dick. Oh yeah. Nimona. Nimona was the movie that they were Hollywood weirdos were praising as like it's the best movie in terms of LGBTQ representation, and I was just like, that's really gay. That's a really gay movie you got there. And so when you say that your movie's gay, all of a sudden they're like, why are you calling it gay, huh? I'm like, well, it's supposed to represent gay people, right? You got LGBTQ representation in your movie. How can I say that it's not gay? It's fucking clowns. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dementia. Yeah, I think I've pretty much said all I need to say about that piece of shit. Insidious the Red Door. Another redundant Insidious movie. I didn't watch it, but maybe I'll try it out. Who knows? Joyride. Don't know. Don't care. They cloned Tyrone. Haven't seen it. Don't know. Earth Mama. What the fuck? Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. So Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I did not get to see it. I wanted to. I really wanted to see this movie, but I didn't get a chance to. I had school. I watched Oppenheimer and whatever else. Like, I wanted to see it, but I just didn't find the right time to see it. And I think it would have made my top 5 movies this year. It's going to make my honorable mentions just because I didn't see it. But I know it's a movie I'm going to like. I know that it appeals to me, appeals to my interests. And so these titles sound like, yeah, they do, dude. They do. Joyride, Earth Mama, Biosphere. They cloned Tyrone. Yeah. Unfortunately, Sound of Freedom also. It's a little suspicious for a title, but Sound of Freedom. I did watch Sound of Freedom. I might not have had the chance to watch Mission Impossible, which I probably would have liked. But Sound of Freedom. I did watch Sound of Freedom, and I thought it was really good. I'm not even saying that by being biased. I actually do believe the movie is really good, and it's very underrated in terms of the actual content within the movie. Now, the FOMO surrounding the movie, the FOMO surrounding it is that of, well, I guess you could just say FOMO. Just FOMO. The fact that the fucking Guardian and the rest of mainstream media like MSNBC and Disney and Guardian, Hollywood Reporter, all took the side of was it Fans of the Playground? They took the side of Fans of the Playground because that's how much they hate us. That's how much they hate the fans. They hate us so bad that they would side with Fans of the Playground, people who like attacking Play-Doh people. For lack of a better term, P3DOs. I highly suggest watching Sound of Freedom. If not for the entertainment, then let it inform you of some very horrific things. But Sound of Freedom is easily in my top 5. Easily. I put it probably at number 3, to be honest with you. Sound of Freedom was a massive culture war win for how much money it achieved for such a small movie and the message it was trying to push. And not even like an aggressive message. It's a very tame movie in terms of like the actual content that they could have shown. The restraint is very respectful. And so I highly suggest Sound of Freedom. And the fact that anybody would ever slander that movie by calling it right-wing propaganda needs to check themselves. And make sure they're not on some flight list to Epstein Island. Yeah, Barbie came out. Cobweb, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Oh, Haunted Mansion. I got told to watch Haunted Mansion. I told that person to go fuck themselves. Haunted Mansion, not watching it. Don't care. Don't care. But Barbie also didn't appeal to me. And therefore I did not watch it. I might watch it just to EFAP it, just to break it down and watch it to basically, I guess I could say, EFAP it. Every frame of pause, break it down bit by bit, react to it. Do what Mahler and EFAP do, right? That's the only reason I would watch Barbie at this point. There's no point. Oppenheimer. I did see Oppenheimer. And I thought Oppenheimer was pretty good. I don't think it's in my top 5 for this year, but it's in my honorable. Well, it's in my honorable mentions. It's in one of the better movies this year. Oppenheimer's biggest problem was that it was just too long, which, ladies, not a bad thing to have, right? But also, with something that's that long, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So, a movie like that ended probably about 2 hours in. The extra third hour, unnecessary. Unnecessary. It's like bussing. It's like bussing, right? After you bus, you're still hard for another hour. It's still hard for another hour, and you don't know what to do yourself. Don't know what to do with yourself. And so that's basically what Oppenheimer was. Is right after the big boom, and you're like, oh, I achieved what I've come here to do. And then they go on for another hour just blabbing about shit you don't care about or already know. And then it's like, oh, okay, thanks. And so, yeah, it was like an hour longer than it needed to be. But like I said, length is not a problem. Am I right, ladies? But it is also not how you start. It is how you finish. And so, see, it was kind of annoying not going to lie. The characters act like young people today saying TikTok slangs. Which characters? Which characters? Oh, that's why you mentioned Ninja Turtles. That came out this year, right? Okay. I remember now, the Seth Rogen Ninja Turtles. Oh, fuck that. I didn't watch it. If I had a shot for every time I said I didn't watch it, I'd be fucking dead. I'd be dead right now. Because I went to the theater probably like 5 or 6 times this year tops. 5 or 6 times. For the amount of movies that came out, for the amount of garbage they pull out, I am just like, ugh. But yeah, that Ninja Turtles movie came out this year, huh? Came out this year. They race swapped April O'Neil, made her fat activist. Yeah. I remember that coming out. And yeah, they probably had TikTok slangs in that movie, didn't they? That makes sense. It makes sense that they would do that to Ninja Turtles. Of course they would. Of course they would. Oh, right there. Yeah, Mutant Mayhem. Yep. I completely forgot about it because I didn't watch it and I wasn't interested. Fuck Seth Rogen, by the way. Fuck Seth Rogen. He's a bitch. He's a stoner bitch. Mike and Fred versus the Dead. Don't know what that is. The Unknown Country. I don't know half of the movies in this list. I'm just trying to figure out how these movies even exist. When did they ever come out? How did this many movies come out this year? I don't understand. The Meg 2. So I watched the Meg 1, by the way. I watched the Meg 1. That was all right. Wasn't really interested in Meg 2, though. I didn't watch Meg 2, unfortunately. I wanted to watch The Last Voyage of the Demeter, the movie about Dracula on the boat. Right, on the boat, the Demeter. And I wanted to watch that movie, but I was pretty concerned that it wasn't going to be super great. And then I also just never found the time to go watch it. Like in concept, the movie isn't a good idea because it's imagine making a movie where you take one specific chapter of a book and then turn it into an hour and a half movie rather than taking the book itself and turning it into a TV series. It's essentially what The Last Voyage of the Demeter is. They could have made a TV series, right? Like a TV season about Dracula, adapting Bram Stoker's Dracula. That would have been awesome. And you'd have like one hour episode of The Last Voyage of the Demeter where Dracula's on a boat and he's slaughtering all the sailors. Could have done that. But instead they turned it into a movie. And I don't know. I thought it looked good, but I wasn't sure. And so I wasn't going to, I don't know. I'll have to find time to watch it another day, but I don't see it as bad or great here. So Blue Beetle. I didn't watch Blue Beetle. Strays, didn't watch Strays. I heard Gran Turismo was pretty good. I heard Gran Turismo. I had no expectations for Gran Turismo, and I heard that movie was really good. So I'll have to check out Gran Turismo and give it a chance, uh, because I heard Gran Turismo was good. Let's see. Retribution? I have no idea. Like another generic Liam Neeson movie. Equalizer 3. I need to watch Equalizer 3. I haven't seen Equalizer 3. But I watched Equalizer 1. I need to watch Equalizer 2 too. So Equalizer 3, I need to watch that. The Nun 2. I didn't watch The Nun. Not for me. Not for me. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Since when did half of this shit come out? Dude, holy shit. Haunting in Venice. Didn't watch it. Outlaw Johnny Black. That looked kind of funny. Spy Kids. There was a Spy Kids movie this year. Reptile. Why does that look familiar? Reptile. The Expendables 4. I kind of wanted to see Expendables 4, but I heard it wasn't that great. And so, yeah, the titles aren't great, dude. They're not great. Camp Hideout. What the fuck? Aura and Son. It Lives Inside. Dude, the title It Lives Inside. Come on. Expendables 4, though, I probably would have seen that if I had known a little. If it was good, I probably would have seen it. Saw 10. I think I'm done with Saw. I think I dipped out at Saw 3, to be honest. I don't think Saw is that, it's not great much after Saw 3, but hey, if they keep going, good for them. Deliver Us, I'm sure that's a horror movie that I didn't watch. The Creator. I hear a lot of people say how great The Creator was, but it's easily a movie made by AI. So I don't know. Probably not going to watch it. They had another Pet Cemetery movie. Why another Pet Cemetery movie? Don't ask me. Another VHS movie. That's good. Good for them. The Exorcist. The Exorcist. I almost thought about watching The Exorcist, Believer. And I was swayed by the idea that apparently the biggest evil in the world is not demon possession, but actually the patriarchy. Apparently the patriarchy is actually more evil than demon possession. So, yeah, maybe I'll skip The Exorcist. I'm not really looking for that. Cat Person. That's a movie. Dark Harvest. What is this shit? Taylor Swift. When did half of this stuff come out, dude? What the hell? Old Dads. I heard Old Dads was okay. I heard that was okay. Killers of the Flower Moon. I heard that was good, but I heard it had the same problems as Oppenheimer, where it was just like an hour too long, and it was just Oscar bait, right? Just Oscar bait, baiting for the Oscars, masturbating for the Oscars. You Oscar baiting over there, boy? Five Nights at Freddy's? I haven't seen Five Nights at Freddy's yet. I want to see if it's actually good. I want to see if it's good. Because I don't know. Holdovers. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That looked kind of okay. Come out with another Hell House movie? I'm a horror nerd, so whenever I see some of these horror movies, I'm just like, wait a minute, you made another sequel to this shit? Helen's Dead, All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt, The Marsh King's Dart. What is this shit? What is all this? The Marvels, we talked about the Marvels. The Hunger Games, the new Hunger Games movie. I wasn't super interested. I wasn't like clamoring to see that movie, but uh, maybe it's good. I heard it was okay, but I just think it's redundant. It's just a redundant sequel spin-off thing. I don't see the point in it. Trolls band together. I'm too old for that. Thanksgiving. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Um, so Thanksgiving apparently is it's directed by Eli Roth. So that means it is indeed connected to the Grindhouse trailer thing. And it's based off the Grindhouse trailer Thanksgiving. So I might check that out, give it a chance. We'll have to see. Next goal wins. Fuck Taika Waititi. He's an asshole. Saltburn. What am I, a bitch? May, December. What? There was a movie called Dashing Through the Snow. Please don't destroy the treasure of Foggy Mountain. Leo. Wish. Another flop. Another Disney flop called Wish. Maestro. Didn't watch it, whatever that is. Leave the World Behind. I'm sure it's activism. I'm sure it's globalism. Good Burger 2. Why would you do Good Burger 2? I don't understand. Napoleon. Napoleon looked like it could have been good. Heard it was disappointing, though. I didn't watch Napoleon. Could have been good, though. Might watch it later. I don't know. Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. So therefore, it's very trustworthy. Very trustworthy of Beyonce. Played by Joker. Yeah. Yeah. Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. That's doesn't seem sketchy at all. Silent Night. I actually probably would like Silent Night. I might try it out. I might give Silent Night a chance. They'll look kind of good. The Shift. What is that? Oh, that's from Angel Studios. Okay. I might give that a chance. It's Angel Studios. I might give it a chance. Abigail. Don't know. Holiday Twist. There's a movie called Waitress. I don't know what the fuck that is. Poor Things? No, I'm not a sad feminist. I'm not going to watch Poor Things. Diary of a Wimpy Kid? No. Or what is this? It's like, when did any of this shit come out? I don't know when any of this stuff came out. Wonka. Okay. I think I'm going to watch Wonka. Because my grandma, she's very old. My grandma's very old. And she wants to spend what very little time she has left enjoying life. And she's like, I remember Wonka. And I want to go see this new one. I don't care if it's woke. I'm like, Grandma, you don't know. You don't know what it's going to be. And she's like, I don't care. I'm like, okay. I'll take you to the movies. You're paying for food. All right? So I'll probably end up seeing Wonka with my grandmother because she likes going to the movies. And I like taking my grandmother to the movies. So. She old, so I got, I don't want to tell her no, right? I don't want to tell her no. There's another Chicken Run movie. She went to the factory as a kid. Yeah, I was thinking that too. She's old enough to have gone to the factory. Yeah. There's a Chicken Run movie coming out, or I think it's already out. Already out. Aquaman 2 can suck my nuts. Migration. For a kids movie, I heard Migration was pretty good. For a kids movie. I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't know. I don't know if I would watch it, but if I had kids, I might take it to see Migration. I might take them to see Migration. So Ferrari. All right, we'll see. We'll see if it's good. I don't know. Maybe. The Boys in the Boat. Interesting. The Color Purple. They remade Color Purple because one color purple movie isn't enough. You have to make another generation of people racist. You just have to keep going. Freud's Last Session. Oh, that came out already. Okay. Freud's Last Session. That looks interesting. I might try that out. Iron Claw. The Iron Claw, the movie about the Von Erich family. As a wrestling fan, I might really like this movie. It might be in my top movies. So I intend to watch the Iron Claw because I want to see how good it is. That's probably going to be in my top best movies of the year. Is Iron Claw. I can't wait for that. Let's see. Anyone but you? Oh God. I'm not into rom-com, as you could probably tell. But hey, if there's anything that is, redeemable about a rom-com, especially one called Anyone But You, starring Sydney Sweeney, we will at least get titties. Yeah. We will at least get titties. Because Sydney Sweeney, by the way, has very big gazookas. She has some nice milkers. I do like Sydney Sweeney's titties. I do. She's pretty cute. Yeah. Sydney Sweeney is the only reason anyone should or would watch that movie. It's too bad with a movie like that. Only the men get sexualized. Only the men are nude. Only the men are shirtless. While all the women have to wear trash bags because Hollywood is actually more misogynistic than you think. They try and push this feminist message on people. But we have yet to see full frontal nudity of Haley Atwell and Elizabeth Olsen. Wait, no, we have. We have with Elizabeth Olsen. We have. We don't see it often, is what I'm saying. We don't see it often. So if Sydney Sweeney wants me to see her new stupid rom-com movie, I want to see full frontal. Actually, you know what? More than that, I want to see action. I want to see some action. Go ahead and do the Euphoria thing on the big screen. That is the only way you will get me to see a movie like that. But big titties is the lesson there. Rebel Moon. I watched Rebel Moon and was not great. Rebel Moon was not great. I watched it the other day on Netflix and was not impressed. Was not impressed with Rebel Moon. Sad to say that because I was looking forward to Rebel Moon being really good and it just wasn't. That whole franchise is DOA. It's dead on arrival, bro. Dead on arrival. Rebel Moon ain't got no chance. But hey, good luck to Zack Snyder in the future. Disowning geeks and gamers was such a good idea for him. He tried to make it up with space vaginas and intersectional feminist Star Wars shit. So that covers all the movies. Of course, I'm probably forgetting about Godzilla -1, which didn't come out in American films, but Godzilla -1, the one Japanese foreign movie that came out this year, fucking washes the American media in terms of best versus worst, right? Godzilla -1 easily washes the competition. Best movie of the year for me. So yeah, on top of that, try that in a small town with Jason Aldean. That was a success in my opinion. Just saying. Richmond, North of Richmond with Oliver Anthony. I remember that. That was good. Good shit. Went to Anime Matsuri this year. I met Critical Drinker. Got to see Gary from Nerdrotic again. I got to meet Chrissy Bayer. that was fun meeting Chrissy Mayer. That's for sure. I don't know. There's going to be long-term effects of that, but got to meet Chrissy Mayer. Got to see Nick Rekieta for a little bit. Didn't get a chance to meet Camelot, though. That sucks. But I might be able to meet Camelot again in the future. Let's see. That was from Anime Matsuri. Released my first song, my first official song, King of the Dead, on this channel. Isaac of the Dead. Got my first 1,000 views. Got my first 7,000 views. For me personally, this year hasn't been terrible. It hasn't been terrible. It's not the greatest year. I'm still a student. I'm still broke as fuck. Can barely live stream. But I appreciate my audience, especially you, Octawave. I see you, buddy. I see you. But yeah, dude, not a bad year. Not a bad year for your boy Isaac of the Dead. Let's make next year even better. I got a couple surprises. Yeah. Got a couple surprises next year. I was hoping to get things going a little bit earlier, but we're going to have to wait and see. I do have a couple announcements. I still have a few announcements to make. I'll go ahead and tease it. But so when will you make a Twitter or a Discord? I have a Twitter. I made a Discord. I have not finalized it yet. So I will let everybody know about what I'm doing with Discord. Because once I start getting Discord going, that's going to start I'm going to be funneling all sorts of shit through there. And so I'm not ready for that yet, but we're getting there. Next year, I'm going to start using Discord more often. And actually, because I was originally banned on Discord. So I have to make a new Discord. So yeah, I that was a whole thing. And so, yeah, that was a whole ass thing. As I got banned on Discord, and now I'm kind of picking up the pieces from that and realizing that it's actually very beneficial for what I'm doing here. But I do have a Twitter. My Twitter is @RealDyzek. So it's capital REAL, capital DYZEK. That is my tag name on Twitter, or X now, thanks to Elon. Oh, I forgot to mention Elon. Elon, what a hero Elon is. I'll see if I could probably try and put a link in the chat. Banned for what? Oh, I'll get to that. I will get to that. Shit. Let me look at this. I don't know if I can put let me see. Let me see my screen. Okay. Let me see. Look at this. What is this? What the hell? Okay, hold on. Here we go. I think this is it. Here we go. I think this is it. Okay. All right. We're doing this. Let me see. All right. There's only so much I can do with this shit. Like boomer in this technology all over the place. Copy. Let me go back here. And then just like that, magic. Let me know if it doesn't work. So yeah, that's my Twitter. I don't know how to link some of my pages yet, and my videos, like my Instagram and my Twitter and my Rumble and whatnot. I'm working on it, but I usually try and put my tags in the descriptions, and so that way, people can at least search for it if they can. But yeah, that's my Twitter. That's my X. All my exes live in Texas, but so do I. So I live in Texas too. Got it. You got it. All right. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Links in the chat. Banned for what on Discord? Well, pretty much doing what I'm doing now. Just fucking around. I'm a troll. So there's no secret that I'm a troll. But I was on Discord a while back, and I was using a different name. I was very like anonymous when I did it, right? And I got into a bit of a scuffle. Got into a little bit of a scuffle over so you can do it on a computer or a laptop or use Chrome link, all your stuff on your main page. Thank you. I'm gonna have to try that out because I've been doing it mostly mobily. So that's probably why it hasn't been working for me. Is because I've been doing it mobily the whole time. Oh, okay. Okay. Now that I think about it, I should probably be doing that then because I haven't been doing it. I haven't been using the Chrome Studio. I've just been like using my mobile phone and like Microsoft Edge or whatever else. And I heard Chrome is shit, but you know, it's whatever. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it because I need I need that kind of advice when I'm doing this stupid shit. I'm trying to figure this out. So anyway, on Discord, I went by a different name. I'm not going to say it. It's a very private thing for me. And so, yeah, I got into a beef with somebody over Doctor Strange 2 being dog shit, which Doctor Strange 2 is dog shit. I will not back down on my argument there. But apparently, I pissed this guy pissed him off so much that I got reported. And then I made a joke about how Star Trek Strange New Worlds is dog shit, just like Doctor Strange 2. And before I knew it, I was kicked off Discord. I was banned. And so I'm going to have to, well, technically I already did. I already remade a new account. And so I'll be switching it around and figuring things out. But essentially, I got banned for not liking a Marvel movie. How fucking bitch made is that? Just use YouTube on a Chrome page and set a desktop. Then you'll get more features. Oh, okay. Thank you, Octawave. Thank you. Set as desktop. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to be in contact with you more often, buddy. Because I need more advice like this. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. So where are we at now? I think that might be it. I think we're about. It makes no sense. Oh, banned for an opinion. Yep. That's how I do. That's how it do. How it be. Sometimes it's how it happens. Let's see. Yeah, is there anything else that happened this year that I missed? This is a big year. A big ass year. Ass was like a Brazilian. Yeah, next year is going to be fucking nuts, though. Next year is going to be crazy. I can almost guarantee it. But yeah, am I missing anything? Y'all in the chat, y'all got anything you want to add this year? I'll read it out because I don't know if you can send super chats. You don't have to send super chats. It says engage with your audience. What does that mean? Whoa. I'm learning new stuff today. Try that. Oh, I could. Oh, ooh. Answer could start a poll. Okay, I could do this. Yeah. Yeah. I started. Yeah. Whenever I first started YouTube, I was just fucking around, and I just started taking it seriously. If I had taken it seriously back then, I'd probably be where you're at, Octawave. I could probably move my way around a lot of this shit, but I'm boomering the fuck out of it. I don't know what to do with myself half the time. Let's see. Here, I'll try this. Start a poll. What should I make a poll for? What should I make a poll for? Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? This is what I'll do. Oh shit. I'm gonna do this. This is what I'll make a poll for. Typing with one hand. I'm very talented. Let's try this out. Let's try this out. Face reveal post. I'm on live. I don't need a face reveal. Overwhelming majority there. Overwhelming majority say no. Yeah, I don't need to do a face reveal, dog. This is what I look like. This is what I look like. I might occasionally not use my face for some videos, but like comes a live stream, I prefer to do it this way. You know, at least y'all can see me. Interact. There's something human about that. So yeah. So y'all don't want me to fat Barbie, huh? You don't want me to break down Barbie? Maybe I'll come back in a while after I get more subscribers and ask the same question if I should or not. I don't know. I probably never will. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know what else to add. The VTuber. I don't know what else to add. I think I pretty much covered it all. I don't know what I'm missing. Did I miss anything from this year? I like a guy named Upchurch. He came out with like 3 albums this year. It was crazy. All of them inspired me to get a move on with my stuff, my music. I released my first song this year back in July, right? And so I've been working on. I'll be like, I'm working on an album. But I'll make a big announcement about that album. And so I'll make a big announcement about it, and I'll even stream then too. I'll stream about that announcement for the album. I guess I could only say that right now I am making an album. That it's being done. It's being worked on. So I can't reveal too much right now until I start actually getting it, churned out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the final stream of the year. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, if there is nothing left to add there, if you guys don't want to plug your best and worst of the year, keep the conversation going. Let me know. Let me know, because I'm starting to be like, we're running up on 3 hours, so we're about to round it out. So if there's nothing more to add, I'll let y'all have the floor. Let y'all have the floor, chat, and see. What else to add? Nothing from you. All right. Thank you, Octawave. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, man. I think anybody who else stopped by and watched, I appreciate y'all. If anybody's watching this later down the line, thank you for watching. I don't know if I could stream this long. I'm starting to get tired. I'm starting to get tired from this. But then again, I've only had about 4 hours of sleep. So I was already going to be tired anyway. But it was fun streaming anyway. This is why I stream. This is why I do it. So I could talk to the chat. So I could be engaging with my fans and people who subscribe to me. So thank you for watching, everybody. You can find me on Twitter at RealDizik. Links in the chat. Find me on Instagram at Dizik_duh. Soon to be on Discord. What else? What else? I think that's it. Yeah, subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned because there's still a lot of leftovers from this year that I'll be pouring out into next year because I ain't done. That rant I had about the Fear of the Walking Dead, it ain't over. It ain't over. I'm going to unleash hell on earth with that one. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I hope everybody's safe. If you're going to go out and party tonight, don't drink too much and make sure you get a designated driver if you do. Hope everybody's safe. Octawave, thanks for stopping by. I will see y'all in the next one very soon. Thank y'all for watching. Don't smoke crack. Don't smoke crack.